Can you tell me your full name?
Janice Ann Palo.
Why were you named that?
Well, my grandfather's name, my mother's father, name was Jan. And so I became Jan, which is Janice. In my childhood, I was born in the projects, which right now doesn't sound very well. But when we were in the projects, it was wonderful. We had a huge park area in back of our building, because there was building all the way around this park area. And we did everything. We had movies on the buildings every Friday night during the summer, and we'd all sit there and watch these. There were umpteen kids around, so there was always fun. In order to be in the projects, you couldn't make too much money, which my dad wasn't at the time. And you had to wash the stairs every week. You had to keep everything clean. If you got into any problems at all with police or anything, you were kicked out. Everything was great. And it wasn't until way after that we moved out of there that everything changed, where there was no rules, nobody listened to anything, and it became more of a slum area. And that's a shame, because at the time we thought we were living in the best place.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
I have two sisters. My older sister, Lois, who's 3 years older than I. And my younger sister is 9 years younger than I, and that's Aunt Betty.
How do you think that having two siblings affected you as a kid?
I went from being the baby of the family to being the middle. So I went from being spoiled to not being spoiled anymore. No, it was fun. We always did a lot of things together.
You got along?
Yeah, I did more with Lois than I did with Betty. How did I feel about school? I did not like it. I didn't like it. The nuns that I had were not very nice.
Strict?
Yes. It wasn't a nice experience.
How many years of education did you have?
Well, I just went to high school and took a few classes, college classes, but it was like AutoCAD classes, stuff like that. I didn't go to college as getting a degree.
So is the level of education that you got normal for people of your generation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. None. In fact, I don't think any of my friends went to college. We all assumed you go to work, and that's what everybody did. And we had belonged to a young people's club. It was St. Viator's. That's where I met Grandma. We were out all the time. We were doing things. We had a bowling team. We did that. We took the group, which there was probably maybe 20 some people. We went to the orphanage and took kids on a picnic. You were able to do that back then.
So cool.
Yeah, we had fun. We had just to be able to do something. We had dances. We had plays that I helped in the back. I would never get up in front and do it.
Were times ever extremely tough for your family? I think you said that.
We never knew it.
You never knew.
No.
You thought you were fine, but
if you hang around with people that have the same things you have, you don't know that you're poor. You don't.
Right.
I mean, I thought everybody lived that way. We were happy. We did things. We did things with my family, my grandmother and aunts and uncles. We went to my grandmother's cottage during the summer. We spent weeks there. Everybody had the same.
Can you describe your wedding?
Well, let's see. It wasn't a very nice day. It was cold because it was in November. And I was coming down with the cold. It was in a small hall of the reception anyway. We probably had 150 people.
Decent.
So we had friends and family.
Do you think that your parenting styles mirrored like how you were raised?
I hope so. Grandma always, my mother, always made sure that everything was even. If I got something, so did my sisters. And I always tried to do the same thing with our kids, which was, you always tried to do everything with each child instead of having one that you always did things with. There's a difference between the way I raised my kids, because my mom had 3 daughters, and there's a difference between daughters and sons. I don't ever remember my mother hitting me.
Mm-hmm.
My father, yeah, but my mother never. And it's hard to raise boys. They don't listen.
Did you ever smoke?
Oh yes.
Was that a normal?
Everybody was smoking at that time. I think I started, I was in high school, obviously. Or I shouldn't say obviously, but yeah, I was in high school. Probably, I don't think it was the first year, maybe the sophomore year. And whenever I was pregnant, I'd stop. And then as soon as the baby came out, so did the cigarettes. It was very hard to quit.
What do you think has changed most in the world from when you were my age?
Oh, it's scarier now. It's real scary. Now you hear about so many shootings and so many kidnappings. And back then, on Halloween, us kids used to walk around at night and not worry about anything. We'd go walking, and now on your date, everybody's nobody even wants to let the kids walk to school by themselves now, and that's a horrible feeling. The kids, you don't know how to play like we did. We did not come in until it started to get dark. As soon we'd come home from school, do our homework, and we were outside. You'd have to yell to get us back in. And now kids don't go outside.
Have you noticed differences in yourself as you aged?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
not. I don't move around as much as I used to. There isn't one day that you wake up that you're not hurting somewhere. Sit around too much. Mm-hmm. Used to do a lot. We'd get up every morning early and go to church so that we can meet people after church. And every day during the week, we would go out and we're talking to people and doing things. But it just seems like I don't have the ambition that I had before. I'm a quilter. I don't feel like quilting. Things like that. It's like I have to push myself to go and finish a quilt instead of enjoying it.
I want to finish it.
Right, because I can't see as well as I did before. If I sit too long, then everything hurts. So, before it was, I could sit and quilt for hours. And now, 1 hour and you've got to stop. And that's not fun. It's not fun anymore. And that's a shame of it. I've got to find another thing to do.
Okay. How do you feel about the choices you made in your life? Do you feel good about?
I wish I had gone to become a nurse.
You do. Okay.
Yeah, because that was a good time in my life. So I was helping people, and I liked doing that. I think that's probably why I'm a greeter at church, because I like talking to people as they come in, and it makes me feel good. So, but I would have done that.
But you're happy with how your life turned out? You're happy with
Oh yeah, yeah. We've done things.